I could bring the belt. It's
Yes,
gonna be
you can bring
mine.
the belt.
Okay, appreciate you.
DDK,
Should I have it on my shoulder or should I put it on the table?
it's whatever you want. You're the main event.
I slept with it last night, so I'm gonna keep it on me. All right, go ahead. We can start. My fault. Go ahead.
DDK, it's good to see you here, Newcastle, PA. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Ezaa versus you.
Big Stank
Big Stank.
versus
okay.
me.
This has been a fight that has been in the works for a long time. Sword 7, Breakout 03. So how does it feel to be here, not only to finish the story with Ezaa, but also to compete against him in the very first heavyweight title match?
It's tremendous. You know, Big Stank been running for me for a long time. You know, whether it's going from DM to DM telling people not to vote for me versus him, and whether it's, you know, creating burner accounts that he shared with 14-year-olds, he's a lost individual, and he hate to see me. So I've been waiting to see this and have this happen for a long time, and we finally here.
Absolutely. Obviously, Ezaa is not here right now. He's had
Big Stank.
Big Stank is not here right now. But he has had run into some flight issues. Do you feel like that is going to play into effect in the fight a little bit, or do you think that he's going to be able to be a little bit more sharper?
Everybody in this room, you guys can't see them, but everybody in this room made sacrifices to be here, right? Big Stank tried doing what he always do and cut corners. Tried to get a little $40 flight, and now he fucked. And he waiting at the airport because he couldn't get here. That's on him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, bro, boxing brings out the trueness in a person. And I just feel like from day one, he's just unprepared. And come Saturday night, I'm going to show him that he's unprepared.
Absolutely. Now, my next question, obviously, that title around your shoulder. This is the very first title match
It look good
for
on
the
you, don't
heavyweight division.
It look good, don't it?
One of the 3 titles. It does look very good.
Appreciate you.
I did pay for it, so obviously.
Appreciate you. It's a good purchase.
When it comes to the magnitude of this fight, do you feel like the belt elevates it? Do you think it actually truly gets the attention that it deserves? Or do you believe that even if the title wasn't on the line, do you feel like you'd still be as excited to take on Ezaa?
Thank you. For me, I will always be excited because, like, I genuinely love to fight, you know? I take that back. I genuinely love boxing. So that's the first thing. And in regards to Big Stank and this belt, you know, making the fight a bigger fight, I think that it truly does. It makes it bigger. I mean, this is the first ever no headgear heavyweight fight. It's the first ever heavyweight title fight. And in the last, 2-3 months, we've had a lot of heavyweights come into the division, you know? So I think that this title just makes everything that much more up for stakes.
Absolutely. This fight happening on Saturday, what has your preparation been like going into this fight? Because obviously for the last fight you trained very, very hard. Is there anything more that you're doing? Is there anything maybe less that you're doing? I know you're not a man that really likes to do less, so I probably anticipate that you would do more.
Yeah. For this fight, like you just said, pushing myself to the limit day in and day out. I truly work on my craft every single day. No disrespect to nobody else. You know, it may be some guys that do it once a week, twice a week, but I'm really in there every day, some way, shape, or form. And I think what make my preparation different for this fight than my first fight is just me doing things that I've never done before. I was told, you know, I was brought up on the principle that if you want something you never had, you gotta do something you never done before. And that's really what I've been doing for this fight, pushing myself to the limit, not only inside the boxing gym, but outside the boxing gym.
Absolutely. One thing I have to ask is, going up against Ezaa, he is someone that you have been slated to fight before.
Big Stank.
Big Stank.
Go ahead.
He's been someone that you have been slated to fight before. What do you think that he has done in preparation for you? Because obviously we haven't heard that much from him, but we heard a lot from you.
Yeah.
So what do you think that Ezaa is bringing to the table in this fight? We know what you're bringing, but what are you anticipating from Ezaa? Because I know you do not like to underestimate any of your opponents.
Not at all. Truly, I believe that he's been working, but if we really peel back the layers, Ezaa tell on himself. I'm sorry, Big Stank tell on himself, right? So when he first started off in the first interviews, when the fight was first announced, it was, oh, I'm sparring 6'6", 6'7" guys in the gym. They're really pushing me. But it's like, hey, yo, homie, I'm not 6'6", nor am I 6'7". So you sparring him does nothing for this fight. And then he came back on a later interview a few weeks ago after I told him what my height was and I told him what my weight was. Then it was, oh, you know, I'm sparring guys that are 6 foot, 6'1", 210, 215. Ezaa says everything that sound right. So really, what is he doing? I don't know. I just focus on what I'm doing and what I'm bringing to the table, and I know I'm gonna be victorious come that night.
Absolutely. Now, the press conference is tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you expecting the energy to be like when you see Ezaa in person for the first time?
If it's one thing I say all the time, the energy is never the same in person with these dudes. Not these dudes, but the dudes that I go against. Energy is never the same in person. It's very easy to tweet from your bathroom or from your couch on your mama Wi-Fi, but when you gotta look me in my motherfucking face, shit is different. And I feel like with Ezaa, he gonna have to answer a lot of questions. He gonna have to answer, why is he sharing burner accounts with 14-year-olds? He's gonna have to answer, why did you lie to the public about having burner accounts? He's gonna have to answer, why are you on your burner accounts talking to yourself on your main account, telling yourself happy birthday, telling yourself that you should do this for content? You know, he's a lost individual. So how do I see the press conference going? Big Stank gonna have to answer a lot of uncomfortable, tough questions.
Seems like Ezaa is in for a rough few days, but when it comes to the actual fight itself, what is your prediction going into this fight? I know you're expecting a stoppage, but when do you see you stopping Ezaa?
It's really hard for me to tell you an exact round because, I mean, any boxer in here know, like my man Jay, my man Ant, Divine, Rand, guys that are at a high level, like they understand that, like, you can't go in there looking for something, right? 9 times out of 10, when you go in there looking for something, that's where you really fuck up, right? So for me, it's kind of, if the knockout presents itself, of course I'm gonna take it. But if I gotta go in there and outclass him for 5 rounds, I'm prepared for that. Any scenario, any outcome, I'm ready for it. I just really want to see Big Stank.
Absolutely. Listen, DDK, only a few days left until you strap up the gloves, put on your shorts, your shoes, and get into the ring.
Indeed.
It's absolutely phenomenal to have you here once again, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
My man, I appreciate you.
Before we end it, we're going to have like one little thing. We're going to have a couple of people ask a couple questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Got a couple people ask a couple questions before we get out of here.
Okay.
Jalen, go first.
My brother.
What up, Jay? What up, Jay?
Yo, tell me, like, I have peeped, you know, as fight week approached, he was kind of low, like, under the radar. I want to know what were the final preparations going into, you know, your last week of camp or your last day of camp leading up to this fight. I'd just like to know, when you were AFK, was it you putting the final touches to your camp?
Yeah.
Or was it like you just needed, you know, just to zone into yourself before your big day?
I got you. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was a little bit of 2 things. The first thing, I always try to be different. I always try to separate myself from the pack in some way, shape, or form. So I knew Big Les was putting a lot of pressure on a lot of the fighters who was a part of this event to promote. So out the gate, everybody is promoting because Lesnar is saying, hey, you better promote. But as I watch the landscape, guys start to die down. You know, the content starts to stop. The consistency starts to get less and less. So for me, I kind of wanted to take a couple weeks away and let everybody else kind of pull back, as I knew they were going to do come fight week. And, you know, last week, 2 weeks ago is when I came back, you know, with the final push, you know, airing out Big Stank about his 14-year-old, you know, parties that he was having. But actual preparation that I've been doing, bro, is just really focusing on, number 1, getting in tip-top shape, and number 2, really technique, you know, really walking through everything. I don't really go in the gym and just, you know, I really like to walk through shit, do shit slow, and then speed it up. So that's really what I've been focusing on.
Thank you for answering my question.
Any more? Ant Mills?
Yeah, so
You said it's who? This Ant?
Yeah,
I want everybody to know this my this my lead trainer right here, lead corner man. You know what I'm saying? One of the best in the scene, if not, you know what I'm saying, the best at what he do. What's up? What's up, big dog? What's up?
All right, so my question, I like to ask this to anyone that's fighting. So the physical preparation, we already know what it's like. You know, everyone here goes through it. But what separates a good fighter and a great fighter is the mental preparation. So I want to know, what are the steps you're doing to prepare for this fight? How are you dealing with the nerves? You know, your main event is for a bout. Yeah. There is nerves, whether you admit it or not. There's nerves. So I just want to know, how do you handle it?
Good question. How I handle it mentally, bro, is just, I really, bro, watch boxing 24/7. Right? It's a lot of people in this scene that, like, they only watch boxing or come across boxing when it's time to box, right? So for me, from the mental aspect, since his fight with Big Les ended, I've been locked in watching both of his fights every single day, bro. So mentally for me, I feel like I get a mental edge on motherfuckers by I don't have a problem doing the same thing every day. I ain't got no problem waking up, going to work, coming home, going to the boxing gym, and literally falling asleep as I eat my dinner watching Big Stank. Every single day. That's what I've been doing. So mentally, I just feel like I'm more locked in than others, or Big Stank specifically.
Right, that's a great answer.
What's up, Waffle? Go ahead.
All right, I got a question. You know, Ezaa, he's obviously taller than you.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot bigger than you in terms of weight. So
Mm-hmm.
what have you done, or what are you gonna do to combat that?
Well, I'm a firm believer in skills pay the bills. So it really doesn't matter to me if somebody is huge or not. I mean, bro, if you got skills, you got skills. But what I've been doing to prepare myself to combat, what he gonna come with, I already got word from his camp what the game plan is. So I know how he gonna come, what he gonna try to do, and what he gonna try to, press on me in the ring. But in my preparation, I've honestly been going up against guys who are better than me, been boxing longer than me, got amateur pedigrees, switching over to MMA guys for the roughness and just preparing for what Big Stank is gonna bring. Cause I know he gonna try to throw the kitchen sink at me. So really just preparing and pushing myself to the limit day in and day out. That's all. What's up, Jay?
I have one more question. Obviously, we know your levels ahead of Ezaa. Not to be disrespectful, but it's just real. Feel me? Boxer to boxer. Is there anything that you see that Ezaa could possibly pose as a threat?
I mean,
it could be, his power, or him being sloppy, so, that one hit can land or whatever.
For sure.
You see anything in his game that really makes you be like, I gotta watch out for that?
Well, I mean, if I'm keeping it a buck with you, bro, this is the first ever no headgear fight in the heavyweight division. And I mean, the motherfucker, as shitty as he is, no pun intended, but the motherfucker is big, right? He at least, 260, 265? So, I mean, it's all, like 6'3", 6'4", so it's always a threat. I know I got to be on my P's and Q's. Like, I know I get up here and talk shit and pop it, but I know I got to be on my P's and Q's, bro. But what do I think the best attribute he going to bring forward? Coming forward. To me, that's what I think his best attribute is going to be. He already told me his best punch and everything like that, but he just going to come forward all night or as long as he can. So, what's up, Rand?
My brother DDK, I have
Yes,
a question
sir.
about your boxing match. So you talked about all the weaknesses and strengths of Mr. Ezaa, but you haven't talked about the funk. How are you going to deal with the funk in the boxing ring?
Hey, man, honestly, I'm going to just have to say fuck it. Like, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't in there to look pretty. I ain't in there to look cute. It is what it is. I know he stank. Everybody in this room know he stank. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in this room. Some of y'all done had personal experiences with Big Stank. Some of y'all done tried to shake his hand and he damp. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact. Hey, this the game plan. I told y'all I was coming with the Big Stank starter pack, right? Right? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, all it was just about 6-7 different bars of Dove soap, right? That's all he need, because that's what he missing in his life. But recently, I done came across, and this is for Big Stank. Jake Paul, if you watching this, man, you know what I'm saying? Throw me and my boy Ant some merch, and the motherfucker who threw it to me. Throw me and my boy Ant some merch. We cleaning up the streets, one body at a time. We cleaning up the streets, one body at a time. Jake Paul, I want you to know you out here doing the Lord's work with this, brother, okay? And come Saturday, we gonna apply it. So that's what that is. But hey, last thing, man, honestly, I just want to say thank you to Big Les, thank you to Pat, the entire Breakout team. Honestly, yo, like, I'm in awe every time that I come. Breakout 03 was a movie. Breakout 04 is already a movie. So I just appreciate y'all for the opportunity, and I appreciate you, the public. Tune in. July 27th. We in Pittsburgh. It's going to be streaming in, the 28th, right?
28th at 2 p.m.
28th at 2 p.m. You know what I mean? Tune in, man. If you looking to see a fire event with some fire creators and just a good-ass vibe, tune in, man. Breakout on top. Fuck what you heard.
Sure.
You out of here.
of this guy.
Cool with the wings.
Come on, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
You B-side, bro. Go ahead.
I'll go. I ain't got no problem. I'm blessed.
Chance to fight DDK, who is definitely pretty skilled, and he's a rising star himself. As the main event for the championship, that's just a huge honor to me.
I know his whole game. I know how he punch. I know how he step when he punch. I know his power punch. I know how he box moving to the left, how he box moving to the right. And people believe that Ezaa is the top dog and he's the creme de la creme. And I have no problem at all proving everybody wrong.
I'm gonna come in, train really hard for this fight. He's very skilled, but I know him better, and I'm gonna prove it.
You know, I'm coming there to do the job. And that job is to be here. I need to break out heavyweight championship. And that's what I will do.
You're a winner by TKO Ezaa. I'ma hold up the belt, wave it up in the air, walk out the arena, and I'll see y'all tonight. That's it.
Like I said, man, I respect him as a man for getting in the ring, but from that day, July 27th, won't show no respect in the ring. Ezaa is Ezaa. You know, he's who he is. Come that day, I'm going to show up and I will be victorious.
Ezaa versus DDK for the Breakout Boxing Heavyweight title, July 27th, only on Breakout Boxing.
I'll go. I ain't got no problem.
July 27th.
So much talking.
Okay.